Guys, we've got a 12-team Superflex PPR 1.75 tight end premium start 10. Are you going Trevor Lawrence and a 2024 second projected mid, or Jordan Love and Nico Collins? Go ahead, Scott.
Well, this is the new Dynasty game. Every single week, there's an analysis where you have to move the goalposts. And never did we dream, probably 6 weeks ago, we would be saying, I would almost rather have Jordan Love over Trevor Lawrence. But here we are. It looks like TLaw is probably, they're saying he could play this week, which is a complete farce. They're not going to play him against Cleveland on the road against that defensive line. So he's probably out a couple games, which means he's not helping you get to the playoffs. He's not helping you win in the playoffs, most likely, unless somehow maybe you get to the semis, if not the finals. So you do have to ding him a little bit if you're contending. You haven't had a trade deadline. So you're looking at Lawrence in a second for Love and Nico Collins. Nico Collins is probably worth a mid to late first rest of the season because he's going to hold some value just because being attached to CJ Stroud, regardless of whether they draft a receiver, add somebody, it's not going to matter. He's always going to be somebody you can just throw in there because of the situation that he's in. So you're getting a plus on top of TLaw to pivot from TLaw to Jordan Love. Jordan Love signed through next year, so that I think there's no question about his role going forward. He's going to be on basically a contract watch for next year. So if this is the tax, I think it's a fair trade to accept. If I'm in the TLaw business, I would almost rather go see if I can buy a separate QB. Like, I don't have to give him up in the deal. Can I just buy Jordan Love? Can I just buy Brock Purdy? Can I just buy a tier below that to get me through without having to throw TLaw in the deal? That's the only hesitation, is before I send TLaw off, I'm probably looking at, can I just buy a standalone QB from a team that's out of it? Can I buy Matt Stafford from a team that might not need him the rest of the year, is not confident about the future? So before you send TLaw, go shopping for individual QBs, but it's a fair deal.
Shane, you going TLaw on a 24 second projected mid, or Jordan Love and Nico Collins?
Well, I'm going to filibuster too, since Scott filibustered a bit at the end. Me being me, I'm going to try to go get me a tier up and be like, all right, this is what I really needed to force me to move up from Trevor Lawrence. Yes, I'm willing to pay now. But given this deal, the fact that they're giving you Nico Collins, they're like, hey, here's a wide receiver one, just whatever. You know what I mean? For my playoff push, I'm smashing that deal. And yeah, 6 weeks ago, sounded crazy because Jordan Love looked like a absolute troll on the field, but I just to myself, sometimes you got to be patient and just wait on dudes a little bit. But yeah, I would take that. Because dude, the way Lawrence looked last night, I can't imagine that dude's playing for the next couple weeks.
So let's do a little pulse check, little temperature check on where we are with Brock Purdy in terms of being able to get you up to the big boys. Does he have the juice in a conversation to be able to get you up to Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts names now? Same question for Dak. I mean, can they get you that high? What do you think, Scott?
I don't think it can't get you that high, but I made a deal in Running Gun the other day and traded Justin Herbert for Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey. Ooh. A little hesitant. I didn't need to do it, but I already got a top 3 team, so I'm kind of like, you know what? Purdy can help me survive. I have enough assets where if I think I want to tier somewhere else with Purdy, I think after this year's over, you're probably going to be able to do that with him. Is he ever going to get to, I can move up to the elite guys 1 for 1 or add just a little bit? I don't think so. But I do think he stays in the Dak range. You know, you could get to Kyler Murray. You could get to Burrow, Herbert, Lawrence, Lamar. You could get to them with Purdy if you wanted after this year. So I think it's going to take another year for Mahomes to falter from where he was, meaning the narrative's going to be the lack of weapons, all that kind of stuff. He's going to get forgiveness basically after this year. But I think the point is with Purdy, I was comfortable down tiering off of a guy like Herbert because I look at the numbers and I'm like, man, if Purdy can just hang in there and survive, the difference in production isn't that much, you know? And honestly, there's weeks where I'd prefer Purdy over Herbert right now, for sure. I mean, just given the state of both offenses. And then you're throwing me Christian McCaffrey on top. Now, to a team that's out of it, they're sitting there going, all right, that's a deal where if they think they're truly getting the difference maker upgrade at QB, they're willing to sell a running back to do it. But I do think Purdy's in that conversation. I know Shane really likes Purdy as well.
It's such a strange, weird thing to say when last year at this time I was like, this dude is
It's a
smoking
trash
mirrors.
can.
He is nothing but a system quarterback. And you know what? Someone in our chat even noted, they shared Josh Larkey's tweet. Just basically, Josh wasn't trashing him, but he's just noted he's basically just running the offense, right? But he's doing it at such a high extreme level that it's hard to say that he's not.
Yeah.
I want to say elite, but he's right outside that tier. He's doing it much better than Jimmy Garoppolo ever did. I like Purdy. I love Scott Steele, Christian McCaffrey, and Purdy for Herbert.
Yeah.
I just added two quarterbacks to my roster. 2 quarterback ones to my roster.
Yep. Love it. Alex was in here early. Thanks for the super chat, sir. He says, love the show, guys. All the new content is great. Keep it up. Will do. 10-team Superflex start 9. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Garrett Wilson, Pickens, Rashee Rice, QJ, Kincaid, Spears, T-cans, trash cans for the newbies listening here. The 101, the 103, the 104, a playoff 24 first, and he has 325 first. Is it crazy to take MHJ at the 101, then just settle for whichever is left of Caleb and May? Don't want to make all the picks, but like Nabers and Bowers too. Other moves? All right, I'll go back to the start here. 10-team Superflex start 9.
Well, it's a 10-team, so we're going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. over any quarterback in a 10-team, regardless of the format. So that there's not really anything about the scoring that could sway that for me, unless you just tell me the quarterback scoring is outrageous. And I have to have a 40-point per game quarterback because that's what they are in that league. In a 10-team, it's not a debate. We actually saw a question in here earlier that was more of a general. Would you take Marvin at 101 right now? And I'll leave this question here because I think Alex is already on the right track, especially with 103 and 104. And you're guaranteed to get your choice of. And don't forget about Jaden Daniels. Don't forget about Drake May going to a better spot than Caleb Williams. So you're actually in the catbird seat because you can get what you think is going to be elite non-quarterback, and you're still sitting there with your choice of 2 of the 3 QBs. You don't think it could be close in tiers where that 102 is willing to trade back? If you really want to have Caleb or Jaden Daniels or whatever, you're going to be fine. So I'm totally fine taking the 101. But with what we know right now, the volatility at quarterback, it's very easy to say, give me the 101, make it Marv, because you feel safe taking that, right? But then we get to landing spots and all that kind of stuff, and we're like, oh, man, the tiers are here. Yeah. So, but right now, if you got to make the decision, we don't like saying, hey, I'm already deciding who I'm taking with my picks. But if you're trying to plan it out, if you said Marv 101 in every format, no issue.
Yeah, the leverage with those picks is just bonkers. It was just absolutely bonkers. Because always remember, you can buy vets too. Yeah, move up, move back. Fun spot to be in. All right, thanks for that super chat, Alex. Let's keep on rolling here. We've got Tanner Halldorf with the super sticker. Appreciate it. 12-team Superflex start 10, 1.75 premium, number 24 picks. What is no 20? This early I'm messing up. No 24 picks. 10th place, max points for. The team is Joe Burrow, Hurts, backup QBs, Monty, Connor, Zeke, Cans, Kupp, Ridley, Lockett, Diojon, Godwin, QJ, Ingram. No shot at the playoffs. Guy that has my first has 8-24 first. He won't budge. Sell vets even though I have no 24 first. He's in a pickle here. It is again a 12-team Superflex start 10, 1.75.
I mean, the correct answer is yes, but who are you selling them to? Because you're clearly not selling them to that dude. Because I'm assuming he's not contending or she's not contending with 8 first, including yours. If you can't get yours back, I mean, at this point, it's a sunk cost. It really doesn't matter to me that I don't have it if I can get other first. This isn't a situation. Plus, it's week 14. There's nothing you can do to make that pick worse. You know what I mean? Because if it was week 5 and I was spiteful, I'd go, you know what? Let's make my team at least average so my pick isn't that good. Screw that guy or girl. But in this case, yeah, sell. If you can get first off of someone, but don't forget about 2025.
What do you think here, Scott? Same thing?
Yeah, I think Shane summed it up nicely. I mean, you can't look at the fact that you are paralyzed by not having your first to then say, I'm just going to. I mean, what are you trying to accomplish by not selling a guy like Ezekiel Elliott? You're trying to be able to just swallow some pride to say, I didn't give the guy the 103 instead of the 104 or the 105. You know, like you got to do what you can to get the best outcome for your team from this point forward. And like Shane said, you lost your first. It sucks. You can't get it back. You shouldn't have traded it away. Guy was smart by getting 8 first. Guaranteed if you get 8 first, 3 or 4 of them are going to screw up and they're going to be good picks. So he did good. But yeah, you just kind of got to play it from here. Can't go backwards.
Let's go to Josiah Stein. Thank you for the super chat. Here's a good one. 12-team Superflex tight end premium. It's 1.5. Start 9. What wide receivers aren't you trading for a top 4 24 first? Shane, go ahead, man.
I feel like this is a bad day for this because I'm getting all horny thinking about draft next year, about being able to get Drake May or Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels or Marvin Harrison Jr. I should stick to my guns. You're not getting Jamar Chase. You're not getting Justin Jefferson. If I'm saying you're not getting those two, then that means you're not getting A.J. Brown.
Amon-Ra?
Why?
Are you there? Are you there? You've got the blind
Here's the
spot.
thing.
Are you there?
So as soon as I start saying it out loud, I go, but if I get Caleb Williams over these guys in a 12-team Superflex, how do I not do that?
Yeah, when I'm reading this, I'm thinking, 103 or 104. What wide receivers aren't
103, 104. I'll hold on to CD. I'll hold on to all those dudes. I'll hold on to ARSB, obviously. 101 or 102. You got to come see what my roster looks like. If that's my only path to a quarterback, there's a pretty good chance I might try to just make that move, assuming that someone doesn't want to just trade me Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts for one of those wide receivers.
What are your thoughts here, Scott?
So I'm wondering, is this a little bit of a spiteful answer? Because I'm actually in 3 leagues right now where I hold a top 3 pick. One league, I have the 102 and the 103 guaranteed. Another league, I have the 101. It's already locked in. It's like 80 points less than the team who has the 102. So I'm going to get the 101. There's only one more week left in the regular season for the potential points to crash. All 3 of those teams are in first or second place. So I'm already a good team, right? And I'm looking at, man, I have a 102, a 101. Who wants to trade me the final hammer to put the nail in everybody else's coffin, right?
Mm-hmm.
The market ain't there for those picks. And there's teams that I would give those picks up for the right package. I propose trades out. Hey, I have this 102 available. One of them is a 16-team, 2 tight end, 2 PPR league.
Ooh.
So 16-teamer, we're talking, Bowers, both QBs, they're all golden, right? And people should be knocking down my door for those picks. Nothing. Now, Shane, what's going to happen in a month when the season ends?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that Tyreek Hill doesn't look as appealing right now, right? That 103 is looking really, really good. Amon-Ra, he's good, but, man, that 101, I really could use that quarterback. But I've tried. I've tried to go and say, hey, fair deal on the table. I have a guaranteed top 3 pick. I have the damn 101, which means you're going to get to choose. And you have people out there going, oh, Marvin Harrison's my wide receiver 3 in Dynasty, right?
No. Yeah.
Unless they have CeeDee Lamb, then he's not their wide receiver 3 in Dynasty. It's, that 102. Still a little risk with that 102. I can't give it up. But then
we haven't seen him do it in the NFL yet, Scott. So,
but the point is, I think we overinflate the value of these players at the early 1, 2, 3 picks, but we know where they're going to land, right? We know where they're going to land in 2 months. They're all going to be top 15 startup picks, the first 2 or 3 picks. Yet the trade value, I'll just say, that's just me speaking anecdotally, the trade value when you hold these picks right now and you're trying to move them, it's not quite there. It's just not there. Nope.
Let's go to this one. I want to say I tried to pronounce this name before. I'm going to try it again. João Parroco Neto. I'm going to guess in the R. I don't want to disrespect. What do you think? Going Brazilian? I don't know.
I looked it up.
That Shane.
I already looked it up and forgot.
Nice. 12-team start 11. And thank you for the super chat. It's a Devy league. Sent Will Shipley, JJ McCarthy, Malik Nabers, and E. Deshaun. Got Lamar, Raheem, and Amari. Thoughts? Sorry, I don't know who E. Deshaun is or if that's a typo.
I think it's probably a typo. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's Deshaun Watson, but I don't know. Maybe he added him into the Devy trade, but I mean, let's break it down. So Malik Nabers is going to be a top 12 dynasty receiver right away, assuming he's wide receiver 2 in the class. So you've basically swapped out. I mean, that's a big piece right there. That's more valuable than Raheem Mostert and Amari Cooper combined easily. And now if that's Deshaun Watson, Will Shipley, he's just going to be a body. He's going to be a guy that gets drafted like probably late day 2, and he's just going to be a body running back. Don't care about him. He's, could be James Cook. He could be Rashad White. He could be Kendre Miller. Who cares? We don't care about him. So it's really J.J. McCarthy if he's in this class. He could be a top. Could be 2 firsts and Deshaun Watson for Lamar. If McCarthy's not in this class, I wouldn't blame you if you took Lamar. So,
right.
If that is Deshaun Watson, I mean, Shane, if I give you 2 firsts and Deshaun Watson, are you trading me Lamar Jackson?
2 firsts, yes.
And one of them being Malik. Now, the only caveat is players and not picks. If that was the 105 and the 110, that's more valuable than Malik Nabers and J.J. McCarthy. But still, the premise is the package is pretty nice if it's those 2.
I tried trading Lamar in our Squirt League for Trevor Lawrence and a first.
Do I have Trevor Lawrence?
No, is it not Squirt? Excuse me. It's one of I forget what league it was. It's one of our leagues. I think it might be Hammers, whatever it is. I tried to trade it. I tried trading Lamar for Trevor Lawrence in a first. I thought that's a good discount for a team that's contending, that's going to try to win this year, but they did not agree. They instead wanted to send me Sam Howell and a first, or Sam Howell and Tank Dell.
Gross. Okay, let's go to Chris Cornell. I was
Cornell.
Chris Cornell. I know,
oh my
right?
God, I love his.
That's what I thought when I first saw it.
Oh, yeah, me too. That would be amazing. Now, thank you for the super chat and the blast from the past. 10 teams start 11 Superflex. Will start playoffs number 1 seed. Congratulations. Hurts, Kyler, Browning makes a list. Bijan, Ramondre, Swift. What's worse than cans? Stacked at wide receiver and McBride at tight end. Traded away Purdy yesterday for the 102. Smart. Also have the 101 and 2 more firsts. The next one is either 3 or 4, and the other could be somewhere 4 through 7. Comfortable with QBs / running backs for the playoffs? Would you keep all 4 if they end up 1 through 4? The picks 1 through 4. Would you keep those RBs? All right, let's go back.
Yeah.
10 teams start 11.
I would give up Brock Purdy for the 102. So if you end up with the 101 through the 104, no, I'm not going to keep all of them because I already have Hurts and Kyler. I don't need 36 quarterbacks. Unless it says Superflex. It doesn't say start 5 quarterbacks, right?
That's correct.
Right. Just that's Superflex. I'm not going to keep all those picks. I'm going to use some of those picks for other things. But like you could guarantee like Marvin Harrison being on my roster next year, probably CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, or Justin Jefferson. Like one of those dudes would be added to it. But yeah, no, that's a good move. Giving up Purdy for the 102.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 4 firsts. It's a 10 team. So again, those picks are really valuable, but they're not as valuable as like, I'm just going to take all the quarterbacks in a horde, right? If it's a 12 teamer, I might go Drake, Caleb, Jaden Daniels. You could make a move like that and you're probably leveraging the rest of the league a little bit. In a 10 team, you're not, but he's got a stacked team. I mean, to trade Brock Purdy away from that and still have Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray. And apparently we are listing Jake Browning now.
Hey, whatever. He is a serviceable quarterback 3.
Scott, one game.
What was the tweet yesterday?
The Kenny Pickett? Yeah, that's got a lot of impressions.
And he blew past it. He outscored Kenny Pickett by like 6 points more than Kenny Pickett's ever scored. And Mac Jones and Zach Wilson. I think there was one other that Kyle Dvorak added to my tweet and added like 3 other QBs that have never had a game close to Jake Brown.
Now, did he quote tweet you? Did he just steal your tweet?
He quote tweeted me, so he gave me a little credit, but whatever. Yeah. But the point is, I think you control the draft here. I do wonder, Shane, on a team like this that's number 1 seed. Chris threw up $20, so let's answer this for him. Number 1 seed. Would you trade one of those picks right now for Jahmyr Gibbs?
Yes.
So
Travis Etienne.
that's part of his question. Let me throw that in there real quick. Is he's saying, are you comfortable with the running backs he has for the playoffs? So yeah, I'm glad you're bringing this up.
So
Not Ramondre Stevenson, because he's probably not
his
going to be
ankles hurt.
Yeah.
But go down the list. Gibbs, yes. Bijan, yes. CMC,
He's got
yes.
Bijan. So two
Okay, well,
Bijan.
then
If he
I'll
can get
leave it.
another Bijan, like if
I
he
I
can
would
like
recommend
clone him.
another
Bijan.
Bijan.
So yeah, if you can get 2 Bijans, that's cool. But CMC, Gibbs, maybe
Kyron.
maybe a chain.
Yeah.
Look,
And the list is very narrow, right? There's maybe
is.
like
And
two
it's
that you would go
very-
for.
it's dudes that can put up absolute crooked numbers, and that's
Okay.
the only reason that I thought about a
Need
chain again is because he
volume.
comes back and he's like, "Oh, hi guys, by the way,
I can't believe they
dropping more
were
than 20
playing
points
him. I can't believe they were playing him. I don't know.
Feet
I
to
was
the
like, get him
fire.
off the field. He's beating up my Commanders so badly right now. Go ahead.
Feet to the fire, Clay. You are in the team that has Christian McCaffrey's shoes. You're probably contending. Every Christian McCaffrey I look at's on a team that's either been contending or is still contending, right? So let's say you're the number 2 team in this league. This guy with the number 1 team comes to you. You see he has 4 firsts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there a world where you're giving up that McCaffrey to him for only one of those picks?
Not a chance.
Even if it's the guaranteed 101.
If it's the guaranteed 101,
He says, you give me McCaffrey. I will give you the pick of these 4 that finishes the lowest. Guaranteed 101, but it probably just screws your chances at the title. And it hands the guy the chance to the title right now. Would you do it?
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it unless it's
Shane?
a really, really cheap buy-in.
no.
Okay.
No, we play to win some titles.
Yeah,
right?
man.
I'm in a position to win a title. This is getting too cute. This is just going, oh, I'm just going to re-roll this, John, and then I'm gonna be competing next year. And it's like, well, you were competing this year, so
You're competing right now
yeah,
with a
like,
26-point running
in
back.
this second, in this moment, right? And should you probably always trade a Christian McCaffrey for the 101, which is a deeper philosophical question?
Mhm.
Probably yes, but guess what? There's context to everything.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting because, like, I'm guessing the McCaffrey team is one where they're like, yeah, I'm not giving him to you.
Yeah.
I need
No
2
way.
of those picks. That's the only way I would. Now,
Yeah.
2 of the picks, is it an auto slam no matter who?
Done. Smash. And then I'm like, damn it.
And then you turn around and use one of those picks to go buy
It's
8
like-
chain, and you still try to beat the guy.
Yeah. Love it. Okay, let's go to Jen's super chat. Thank you very much. 1 of 2 10-team Superflex start 10 tiered PPR. Traded Purdy Aiyuk stack for Chase. Good trade. I'm rebuilding for 24 and trying to win the toilet bowl. What do you think? 10-team Superflex start 10. Shane, Purdy and Aiyuk for Chase.
10 teams starting out. 10. That
We
means
don't
100
know-
starters.
We don't know Jen's quarterback situation. Trying to win the toilet bowl.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So wait. So is like right there on the brink and wants to barely miss and take down the toilet bowl. I know this situation. You're saying yes.
I'll say do it. Yeah. Like I was just talking about how much I like Purdy, but I don't like him that much. This is like a crush type deal. Like I'm not in love with him. I would definitely pawn him off on some other dude if they were willing to give me Chase.
You'd give him
And
the time.
and I like Aiyuk, but Chase is different.
Even as a Cincy fan, I was a little down on Chase the rest of the season. And I even said it in the Discord, and then he goes out and puts up 33 points. And you're like, yeah, he probably should just never move the value of players that have already shown they're in that range. I mean, they'll have short-term windows, but like,
Mhm.
So this is one of the few times I'll say this. You do need to watch football.
Oh, I didn't even read the second part of her question.
But you do need to watch football sometimes to properly value fantasy players. And anytime you start to think that Chase is a sell, unless it's for an equal player, AJ Brown in the situation dictates it, or what? Justin Jefferson. Just go watch them play and go, oh, right, that's
what I was.
Yeah.
When I was zoned out, that's
Well,
exactly
he
what I was
gets
thinking. About.
the-
You watch Chase play, and you're like,
he
I
gets
want
the
that
Trinity.
guy.
He gets all the targets. He gets hey, we need to give him 5 easy catches. And then he gets let's chuck it downfield a couple times and see if he can hit the home run. Like, so he's hitting the literally like there isn't a weakness even with a shitty quarterback. And that's one of the things that you just can't find with 98% of the receivers, you know?
Yeah,
So.
it's like, what do you know? Throw the ball, just force feed. Okay, and Jen's the second part of Jen's question. So again, this is a 10 team Superflex, start 10 tiered PPR. This is her team: Stroud, TLaw, now Chase, Garrett Wilson, Olave, Nico, Diojon, JSN, Cans at running back, Freiermuth, 324 first, and 2 will be in the top 4. How's my team looking? Thinking about Marv and a QB with my top picks.
Yeah. So real quick, can I just give
good looking team?
Yeah, but can I give the PSA? Calm down with the draft picks that you need. You're not making them yet, and stop getting attached to these picks and giving them names. Like this is like, okay, it's kind of like this, right? So sometimes we get interns at work. I don't learn their names for several months because I don't know if they're going to stick around, right? That's how you should treat these picks. They should just be picks. Don't give them names. You start attaching names to them, you're devaluing them in your mind. And that's how I feel about the people at work. When I give them actual names, I devalue them.
Well, and that's like farmers too. Like they tell them, like, don't name your cows.
Don't name the cows
because then
it's awkward when you're eating.
Then Benny is on the table.
Yeah.
What do you think, Scott? Did you have something to say there? No. She's got a nice team. She's got a nice team for sure.
She's got a great roster. The receivers are sweet. The thing I like most about a roster like this, with 2 picks inside the top 5, and I'm assuming there's a couple picks that are in the middle or high, you have how much flexibility, right? You're not dictated by, man, I have to get a quarterback. If I miss out on Marv, the whole build is ruined. Like this is where a team where you say, I'm just gonna let it go, let things fall where they may. Maybe I trade them, maybe I pick them, but you're in a good spot.
Yeah, but that's what's funny is it's just getting real for her going into the toilet bowl. that's where it gets crazy. We were talking about CMC earlier. I bought him trying to win one and failed one time, but it's fun. Look at look at Charlie. Charlie, we need to talk, man. I saw some interesting tweets. I may be unaware of a lot going on in your life. Thank you for the super chat, man. So the hashtag for this one is brain warp. Help me not spend 24 hours at IHOP. 6 team, start 12, 3 Superflex with 2 kickers, 3 IDP, 3 bench. Worst points each week can force any trade. Goff, Mayfield, Carr, J. Willie, K. Willie, Saquon, Najee, Evans, Waddle, G. Willie, Pittman, Kittle, and is trying to jam Hill into there. What is the best of this is supposed to be the part 1. What is the best warp player I should go for? QB, tight end, running back, wide receiver. I want to grab a player to lift total points enough to truly make a difference. So Charlie's having fun with us here. Clearly, he's not in a 6-team start 12 IDP kicker action.
We think.
Part of me, before I got to the end of the question, I kind of took it a little bit seriously, but then I dialed it back and I go, that no one would ever play in a league like that. So I think he's just kind of messing with us on this one.
So I'll say this: go to the War Machine, plug in your league, and you can see who the War monsters are.
Too many Willies, Charlie. Way too many Willies.
Too Willie heavy for you? Is there such thing as too much Willie?
Every player is there's J
Javonte,
Willie, K Willie, G
Kyron.
Willie.
It's Kyron, Javonte, and the bridge. Yeah, so that's only 3.
The bridge.
Charlie, let us know if you have a question. We'll talk about whatever you want, buddy. All right. One last Willie. Let's go to Corey Williams. Thank you for the super chat. This is a 10-team Superflex start 11. How much is too much to upgrade before the playoffs? Have a deep wide receiver room above threshold, but only no-brainer starters are Aiyuk and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Godwin and a late first for Allen too much. Have 2 late, 1 one part. Do we have a second part one here, Shane? It's Corey Williams at sure. Got it. I have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aiyuk, Puka, Nico, Diojon, Godwin, Addison, and Watson.
Well, let me just chime in that Amon-Ra is an automatic start, but so is Nico Collins, Aiyuk, and Puka Nacua. So, I mean, those are 3 more auto starts the rest of the year.
You just named 4 wide receiver ones, by the way.
That's what I mean. He's thinking they're not locked in starters.
13 or 14 right now, but yeah.
Yeah, and then you got, the other 4 with Dio John, Godwin, Addison, Watson. I mean, unfortunately, you probably can't trade any of those for what it's worth to trade them, but I do think you could probably liquidate 1 or 2 if you wanted and try to move for something. I don't know how much upgrading you're doing, honestly. There's a half a dozen names you can upgrade to, and I'm not sure any of them are interested in trading for Christian Watson or Chris Godwin or Deontay Johnson. Yeah. So, and I'm not doing, with what he just listed, I'm not trading Chris Godwin in a first for Keenan Allen. With the depth I have, there's no reason to pay for Keenan Allen, because then you're going, man, it's not a guarantee he even outproduces Jordan Addison or Deontay Johnson. So, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, this is a tough part of the season. You really have to, it's good to have streams like this where people can ask these questions, because you got all sorts of stuff going through your head. Like, do I want to do this? Everybody wants that title. So think of the process, tighten it up. No, let's go to Drew Owen here. Thank you for the super chat. We have a Kansas fan here, Scott. 10-team start 10 Superflex. Herbert, Howell, Watson, Gibbs, K9, Javonte, Warren, JJ, Olave, DK, JSN, Judy, Laporta at tight end. Have 2 mid to early seconds. Tier up trades to target.
Well, real quick, it's actually a 12 team. Drew chimed in that it's a 12 team.
So 12 team start 10 Superflex. Good stuff.
I mean, all he has is the seconds. He's probably got too many running backs, but I'm not sure what running backs he can actually move. Can you move Ken Walker if they announce he's coming back this week? Can I move Ken Walker plus JSN and get a better receiver? Can I move Ken Walker and Jerry Jeudy and get a first just to give myself some flexibility? It's a start 10. You can start Jalen Warren and Javonte Williams the rest of the year. You have Jahmyr Gibbs. Your receivers, I mean, hopefully JJ comes back and he's what do you think he is? And then otherwise you're a little thin at receiver if he doesn't. I don't know. I think it's a team that it's a little thin, and it doesn't have really any hammers besides maybe Gibbs and Justin Jefferson. So maybe DK and Olave continue to produce at the peak of what they could, but Laporte is a hammer as well at tight end. But
yeah, I mean, what are you using to tier up? DK and JSN?
Not even tier up. It's almost like I'm trying to get out of somebody like Ken Walker because I literally don't need him. And if it can get me another, like Nico Collins or Jerry Jeudy and Ken Walker, Shane, and they announce Ken Walker's coming back. Not even close, right? I think that's a deal, though. You put in somebody's inbox, they think about it at least. Maybe you throw a second in instead of Jeudy. They think about it. That's the kind of deal you got to make. You want to get out of one of those running backs.
Nico Collins is the wide receiver 7 on the season, by the way.
I always just when I look at teams like this, and I mean, it's a 12-team start 10. It's a solid team, but I always wonder if there's like a super team. And if you're really, you're looking to tier up, get hammers and whatnot, but is there already a super team?
Well, and that's the kind of context we give on roster reviews.
Exactly. I was like saying roster reviews.
There would be times where we would go, it's a good team. Then you go, yeah, but there's 3 other teams that are monsters and you have 0 chance to catch them. So you should be trading every running back on that roster.
Yeah. Guys, we are 34 minutes in on the dot. Let's say what's up to the crowd. 350 eyeballs in here. Thank you very much for joining. Hit that like if you'd be so kind. Easiest way to help out the channel. Shane was on Sirius before we got started. Pretty nerve-wracking, but you crush it, man. Nice work. Nice work. Appreciate you needed to suck down a smoke after that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I get it. Definitely. I get it. Dude, I drafted Luke Musgrave on that DFS kind of thing for the Thanksgiving games. I was on Sirius and I drafted Luke Musgrave, and everybody on there was like, you don't want to do that. He's not playing. And I was like, oh, yeah. So yeah, jack that up. That was fun though. All right, good stuff. Let's keep going here. We have a Nathan Robarge super chat. Thank you very much, sir. Non-orange cat. There's the calico. Trade deadline is this week. Condolences. 12-team start 10 Superflex, 1.75 tight end premium in third place. No 24-25 first. Should I try to trade Warren and Young for a late first to a contender? Other quarterbacks, running backs, Allen, Murray, Dobbs, Trubisky, Henry, Spears, Zeke, Kyron. Much love. Appreciate it, man.
So he's trying to basically get back some capital that he doesn't have, but he's in third place right now. So he's looking for ways to liquidate something to get a first, just to kind of have a safety net, I'm assuming. That's the plan here. Correct us if you're wrong, Nathan, but I don't know. I'm okay trading Bryce Young on this team because you do have Kyler and Josh Allen. I don't think it's a great time to trade Bryce Young. I don't think
I'm not trading him and Warren for a late first. Are you?
Yeah, I'm okay packaging to trade them both, but I do think the late first is likely the best you're getting. That's the thing, is like, that's not an unfair deal, but immediately you're going, is this the time to make that deal?
So,
you know what I mean?
So here's one thing real quick, is if maybe this contender that he'd be trading Bryce Young to, maybe he's going to be playing him. Is it like a landmine kind of situation where he's like, I'm not even sweating, like, here.
Well, but he says late
Bryce
first.
Young.
So he got to take the late first part on face value. I see what you're saying. Like, maybe it's a pick that could be a little better than what they're valuing it as, but
know that this guy might be, the TLaw owner who needs to start Bryce Young this week. So it's kind of like here, take this minimal amount of points. Go ahead, start it against me in the playoffs. I don't know.
But do I got to give him Jalen Warren in the deal?
Yeah, I know.
That's a sad commentary. That's the sticking part, not Bryce Young. It's Jalen Warren.
Well, no, but I mean, if you told me right now I have Bryce Young as my third QB and I'm a contender and I want to get a first for him, because that's a first I can either spend or I can wait till the offseason and supplement my team somewhere else. I'm okay with that. I'm just trying to. Doesn't this seem like it's a weird thing for a third place team to be doing just to get a late first versus trying to package it for a better receiver? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, what's the motivation here, Shane, to just make this deal now, knowing that you could probably get a late first for Bryce Young and Jalen Warren after?
I think it's the trade deadline and once a pick. Go ahead, Shane.
Well, then and they might think, well, I might not be able to get out of Young, and I might not be able to acquire a first once the season's over. Because, like you just, when we were talking earlier, people don't even somehow right now don't understand the trade value of the 101 that's in their pocket or that you're offering them. But come a month when they have nothing else to think about, all they're thinking about is rookie draft picks. At that point, they're going, well, I don't know, at the 109, I could get Bo Nix. And he's got a 400% completion percentage. So he's going to be good in the pros.
Yeah, Nathan, let us know if we were completely.
He is the first
there.
seed. So Nathan Robarge says he is first seed, only one healthy QB. And he's not starting Warren, trying to cash in.
Got it.
Yeah, and I see someone right below this. I like this. Don't bail him out. Demand more.
I'm going to push back on that because I do think that kind of thinking leads to never getting deals done. So I don't go and say, I'm not bailing you out, but it has to be send me something that actually helps me. Maybe he doesn't want to just get the pick. Send me something that helps me. It's not that I'm not willing to deal with you, because I'm not one of those people that says you're screwed. I'm not helping you unless I'm really going to make it hurt. I'm not going to do that. But how is he helping his roster? What is the plan for that late first that you're getting?
I'll tell you what, the Clay brought up a great point, man. Trading that dude Bryce Young and then forcing him to start Bryce Young. I don't know the settings, but in one of the leagues I'm in, Bryce Young for the second week this year at least got me negative points this week, and I lost by like a point. Like, I literally would have been better off not starting him. Well, obviously, it's negative points, but I would have won the game if I didn't start him, if I just took a zero there.
Awful.
I do kind of
started
like
Joe Flacco, Shane. He would have smashed.
Should have started Joe Flacco. Yeah, but exactly. He thinks Young in his lineup is negative EV. I mean, why won't it be? Nothing looked any better this past week.
Well, he knows the context. If we're not saying don't do it, the context. If you think this is the best deal in your market, take the pick and run.
Yeah, I think we gave enough color around there, and hopefully that helped everybody else too. Just how we were kind of talking through that. Okay, Japhet Martinez. Oh yeah, Mr. Martinez, because maybe it's
If you're
Japhet.
nasty.
Apologies if you're nasty. Yeah. Part 1 of 2. Thank you for the super sticker. 12 team, 1.5 tight ends, super flex. It's a start 8. Quarterbacks Stroud, Love. Running backs Dobbins, Keontae Mitchell. Wide receivers Puka. Got myself all jacked up there. Okay. Keaton Mitchell, wide receivers Puka, Nico, JSN, Jahan, tight end Pitts, and Otten. So I have the first overall, third, and most likely fifth. My plan is to take Marvin Harrison at 1, Drake May at 3, and either Bowers or a wide receiver 2-3. I guess at the next spot. Oh, here we go. Got 2 late firsts. I think running backs to hell. Do you think this team is capable of competing? Any moves? Basically, all teams are competitive except for one. I have my 25 picks as well. I don't know what to think. Let's just let's go back to this one right here. Okay.
Well, I love the flow of Puka, Nico, and Jahan.
That's
it
screwed me up.
Back to back.
Yeah, Pico. Who's up?
So a couple comments for Mr. Martinez here. So appreciate the question. So it's a start 8. So immediately my brain goes to advantages at every starting spot is what's going to be king. I don't like the fact that you're already committed to Brock Bowers when you have Kyle Pitts already. Otherwise, and I'm not saying Kyle Pitts is Brock Bowers, but why do we have Kyle Pitts? That should be one of the assets that I'm trying to move. And I'm not committed to the picks either. It's a 12-team start 8. He didn't really give the full context of his roster, but I'm not opposed to in a start 8 to having a third strong QB. Because one of your QBs goes down, how good is it to be able to slide in another guy that's Jordan Love or better? Mm-hmm. In a start 8, you can't afford to go, well, there's enough starters to make up for it, So I'm actually more apt to take a Drake May or, take an elite QB in that format, even though it doesn't help my starting lineup right away.
Yep. Just a quick one from Drew Sorensen Music. Hello. My trade deadline is passed in all my leagues. Yeah, that's a poll I want to
shun him, Shane. Shun him.
Look, anyone that has trade deadlines on purpose, and you're not the commissioner. If you're not the commissioner, I don't want you to take offense to this. If you are the commissioner and you've made this decision, well, then be offended fully. And I mean this with all disrespect. You're an idiot. Get rid of fucking trade deadlines. Trade deadlines are for children. If you believe in trade deadlines in Dynasty football, then when you go bike riding, I assume that you have training wheels on. When you go bowling, there's probably the bumpers up. Like, you just believe in no risk. Like, nut up and take off the condom and just stick it in. And there is absolutely no reason for a trade deadline. What?
Yeah. No, it's fine. You stayed in line there. Yeah, I was thinking about trade deadlines when TLaw went down. Like that's not where your head should go. It's pretty sad when that's where your head goes. Obviously, you're like, oh, TLaw, likable guy. You don't want him to be hurt. But then you start thinking about trade deadlines. Now people are screwed. So it's like if you're a trade deadline fan, like you do you, but does anybody who has a past trade deadline, like, are they happy that they can't trade right now? I don't know.
Brian S. does bring up a good point. What if the entire league voted for trade deadlines? Well, that's not it. What to do when the league all voted for a deadline except the commish? Okay, I'm assuming Brian's the commission this. Quit the league. Tell them good luck finding a new commissioner because you're going to go play with adults because we don't do deadlines.
Let's go to this inbox offer from KB. Thank you very much. 12-team, start 10, Superflex contender. Give the 103, get Kyler. QBs are Watson, Stafford, Fields, Herbert. QB room feels solid already, but seems like a good price.
It's almost like these are two separate realities. Like they're just on parallel tracks. Yes, it's a good price for Kyler. Do you need to do this right now? I don't think so. I think you could get Kyler in a month for this if you really want him.
Yeah, I'm not doing it with that QB room that I have because I'm probably in a league where they already devalue them, which is the reason why you're being able to get this deal in the first place. So then all of a sudden you're going to have an issue where you go, I can just picture it. KB puts this question in a month from now. Hey guys, going into the offseason, my QBs are Kyler, Watson, Stafford, Fields, Herbert. Desperate for everything else. No one will give me anything for quarterback. What do I do? So you kind of already know that's probably the place you're heading to. So I would pass.
Yeah, doing a different type of deal there.
What's no.
We clicked at the same time. No. Don't no me.
What to do with collusion if there's no trade deadline? All right, that is not a trade deadline issue. That is a bad.
That's a
owner
league issue.
If you have bad managers, they're going to be bad actors regardless, and you kick them out of the league if you can prove collusion.
Give me a minute on this topic, because collusion is essentially acting in congruence with somebody else to try to screw the rest of the league, right? Like you're doing something that is intentionally kind of sabotaging the rest of the league. Everyone knows collusion when they see it. It's a clear deal where it's like it's favoring somebody for a reason that you can't really figure out. The difference, and this is why people always fight about trade deadlines, is there's a difference between collusion and leverage or flexibility, right? People hate the fact that I might have 3 first rounders and I'm in the finals and I can go pick who I want to buy, or I can bail myself out of an injury and I can do it at the 11th hour. That's not collusion. If somebody hands me the team that just got eliminated in the semis, they hand me Tyreek Hill and Christian McCaffrey for the finals for 3 firsts. And people are up in arms because they just handed you the title. No, they didn't. You bought the title by having those 3 firsts, and you knew there was no trade deadline. So if you traded all your assets and you go into the finals and you go, oh, Shane's my opponent, he's adding all these pieces and I have nothing to trade, that's on me. That's not collusion. So if you're in a non-trade deadline league, you play it different, right? You don't want to be all in week 12. Like, you want to give yourself some leeway just in case.
D.O. Jones, thank you for the super chat. But that's great. I was listening to a stream, like an old stream the other day, and it was like, oh, D.O. Jones. Brilliant. Okay. 2-team. I think he means 12-team Superflex start 10. Strong contender. Anthony Richardson, the 24-102, a playoff 24 first, and my 25 first for Justin Jefferson and CMC. RBs are Bijan, Moss, Madison, wide receivers, Hill, Lamb, Keenan Allen, DK, Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, and Kelsey at QB, or Kelsey at tight end, rather. QBs are Dak, Stafford, Watson. Is it worth it to most likely secure a title? This is an inbox offer. I like that. This is an inbox offer.
We sure it's not a 2-teamer?
I mean, I guess
if so, hit up Charlie. He'll get you in a 6-teamer.
Yeah,
we'll say this: if you're in a 2-team league, you usually are a strong contender. There is that.
So, I mean, we were kind of just talking about this, like trying to buy. Would you give this up for a ship?
Okay, so this is where it'll start going. What's the buy-in? How much am I winning?
I was about to say $50 league.
I mean, it's just $50, right? But you might win $350, and it could pay for 7 more leagues you could screw around in, Shane. I mean, that's big.
It's funny. The higher the buy-in, the more likely I'm likely to do this deal, trying to buy a title. The lower the buy-in, the less I care. But then if the buy-in gets low enough, I just don't care, and I'll do whatever.
Lower the buy-in. Shane's taking the other side so he can play with the picks.
I'll say this is too much. It is too much. Would I do it is a different question, and I don't. Again, it would depend on the buy-in for me. It really would.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay, let's go on to the next one here. Drew C says, wearing my Hammer hoodie right now. Hell yeah. Yeah, go in the description, find our Printify store. Get yourself a Hammer hoodie.
Or
what's up?
Do what Drock did. He joined the Patreon, where all the cool people are. All the excellent folks are in the room with us.
The Discorders.
Yeah, the Discorders.
Yep. Alyssa, thank you for your question. 12-team Superflex, because she always says, love you guys. Yeah, we love Alyssa too. 12-team Superflex start 10. I'm 12-1. The second place team, who is 11-2, offered me the 101 for CMC.
We already
Do I
had
give up
this.
the
This is
possible
wild.
ship for the 101? Love you guys, man. This is tough. No, I can't do it. I wouldn't be able to look at myself in the mirror. The league, it would just be, yeah. It's like dropping a bomb on the league.
How good am I at 12-1? Can I find a way to have my cake and eat it too? Can I go make this deal, turn around and go send a 25 first to get like a Rashad White or a Kyron Williams or someone like that, and still try to back into the title and have the 101 in my pocket? I mean, that's the real like 4D chess. Shout out to Mike and Adam about that. That's the move where you're like, damn, I didn't see how you did that, but you still won the title and you have the 101. I got to know my market. If I can go buy one of those guys, I'm willing to take the gamble here and move McCaffrey.
Yeah, this has got to be one of those. If you do this deal, you better know that you can cascade it into something else after that. Tell you what, then I'll go trade my late first for Kyron Williams. Hopefully he's not on a contender, something like that. Yeah, I'm losing 3 points, but I think I'll be all right. I think I can do it. And then 3 points a game also doesn't include the fact that Kyron was injured in at least 2 of those games.
Okay, let's keep rolling here. So from Zach, thank you for the super chat. 12-team Superflex start 10 PPR: Herbert, Bryce Young, Carr, Walker, Javante, Waddle, Olave, Debo, Kirk, Jaden Reed, Coopert, Pitts, Michael Mayer, and 324 first. 105 and 2 are late. A strategy for the offseason. And then there's a second part. Is it in here, Shane? Just not right under it. Zach Thielbar.
It does not say part 1 of 2.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
no,
just
it
the 12th
doesn't.
team.
It was the 12th team. Excuse me. I'm like really out of it right now. Apologies for my performance this evening. Scott, what do you think?
Well, the QBs are weak. I'm not excited after Herbert, but you got some assets that you can move. So you got the 3 firsts, you got the second, got a couple players you can move off of too. We got a lot of kind of like so-so receivers here. Debo, Kirk, Jaden Reed, Amari Cooper. Yeah, I mean, I think strategy for the offseason is you're probably looking to move at least one of those first and play in the quarterback market. Can I avoid having to pick a rookie quarterback? What I don't want to do is go, man, I have to get a QB. I'm going to give up assets to go then draft a QB, and then I hope they're good. If they're another Bryce Young, then I'm just right where I was probably last year when I got Bryce Young. And I bet you he went into the year thinking his Herbert, Bryce Young, and Derek Carr quarterback room was stellar.
Was solid, yeah.
It was solid. It's going to get me through. And now you're going, damn, I'm glad I have that extra first or those 2 extra firsts, and maybe that 105 can get me a QB. So I think I'd be willing to kind of like retool this one. I have no problem. Trade deadline. Can you trade Debo Samuel right now? Please?
I would hope so. Off a trifecta after.
I would try so hard.
Yeah, I think you got to be flexible and turn this roster into some more liquid capital, because a lot of the players you have, Debo, Kirk, Jaden Reed, Cooper, Pitts, those guys are just going to be stuck on your team. Yeah,
this is a tough one, and not as secure as you thought you might be at QB going into the season. Any quick thoughts here, Shane?
No, you guys covered it. You did good. I mean, upgrade the quarterback. That's obviously task number 1.
Always looking at that all off season. Okay, let's go to Masternator. Thank you for the super chat. 10-team start 9 Superflex PPR 6 point per throw TD. Traded CJ, Tank, a 24 early third for Burrow, Higgins, 25 first, 24 second. How'd I do? Thanks to Clay for the Didit chat. Definitely got my money's worth. Yeah, you're free. Free is worth. Yeah, Didit. Hit us up. First call's free. Shane, what do you think on this one, man?
10-team, he traded CJ Tank. I don't care. I don't care. For Burrow, Higgins, a 25 first. How'd I do? First of all, you called Clay and not me on Didit, so I'm a little offended. Secondly, I like this deal. I mean, Burrow and CJ. Burrow's obviously in a higher tier than CJ at this point. I don't know how, but that's what happens. It happens quick. Higgins in a 25 first for Tank Dell, and I don't care about what else is on there, the thirds and blah, blah, blah. I could see, like, if you wanted to buy Stroud, buying Stroud with the, the other side of this and being okay with it. But I think the Burrow side did better.
I wonder if he made this before or after the Tank Dell injury.
I mean, I would.
When did he have his Didit Call
post.
with you, Clay? Or was it? Did you talk about this deal or no?
It looks familiar. No, not trading away CJ Stroud for this. This one doesn't look familiar. Yeah, I would have to check and see when I had the call with him.
I mean, quite simply, I don't think you get this deal done today that Tank Dell now has a broken leg. So I think you probably did well from that regard. But I mean, that's probably just luck because we talked about Tank Dell versus T. Higgins. Basically got a first and T. Higgins for Tank Dell in this trade for the difference in the QBs. So
yeah, he sent me a message. Let's see. Yeah, I talked to him last Thursday. Yeah, and he sent me a message
before the injury, and he felt terrible about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we talked about that we talked Tank Dell, T. Higgins, all that good stuff on the Monday morning drive, exclusive to our patrons. Every Monday is one of the exclusivities to our patrons.
Exclusivities.
When we record it properly.
When we hit record. But if you're in the room, you don't need to record it.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. We'll talk more about that. Okay, Robo Chris. Love it. Inbox offer, 12-team Superflex, start 10, give ARich and Garrett Wilson, get Howell, Pacheco, Puka, and a 24-second. Just lost a TLaw. Other QBs are Russ and Dobbs. Scott, what do you think?
No, we're going backwards here. We're giving up. Ugh. I mean, Garrett Wilson for Pacheco and Puka, I'd be okay with that. If I needed the points, I'd be okay with that part. But ARich for Sam Howell, this is one of those where you've probably lost more than one quarterback and you're just trying to tread water. At some point, you just say, it's not my year. I have a couple teams like this where I've lost like 3 QBs. How many times am I going to go and bleed extra value to go escape the injury? And I'm not giving up Anthony Richardson for Sam Howell. No thanks. Easy pass.
Yeah, I mean, even if you have, let's just say, Puka in a second and Garrett Wilson crossing each other out, canceling each other out, that means you gave up ARich for Howell and Pacheco. And that makes me feel dirty, very dirty. Like I need a shower after doing that. No, I don't like this deal even a little bit.
Basically, if you don't win the championship or cash a good amount of money in second place, you're just going to be throwing up for several months.
There's an acceptable level of doing disgusting things to get things that you want or things that you need. This is beyond that. You know what I mean? This even goes beyond that pale.
We got a sup guys from Dustin DeConing. I'll eventually hear him say his own name. He's in our Discord. Okay, let's go to Duncan here. 12-team, start 10, half PPR Superflex. Thank you for the super chat. Shane, this is you. Just got knocked out of the playoffs with my dead team. Watson, Jones, Bijan, Moss, Warren, etc. JJ, Adams, Hollywood. I got the 103. Any moves?
Does one of the contenders have the 101 or the 102? Because they could have Bijan from me. He listed Watson, and I guess that's Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
The quarterback room is it's not great, Bob. It's not great, Bob. I'm not going to lie to you. So I would add Bijan, Moss. I'd put them together. Like, here's a Bijan and a free Moss. Can I get the 102, 103? That's the first thing I'm looking at. Or does one of the contenders happen to have one of the injured quarterbacks and they still made it, high? The Burrow team, not the Trevor Lawrence team, but the Burrow team, the Anthony Richardson team, maybe the Burrow team too. Those are some of the moves I actually been trying to move. I have Bijan on a couple teams that aren't competing, and I'm trying to sell them for injured quarterbacks.
Yeah. This was kind of tricky. Okay. We'll keep on rolling here. Thank you, Duncan, for that super chat. Okay. Looks like Pillsbury Dope Boy just gave us $2 super chat here. Thank you, Pillsbury Dope Boy. Appreciate that. Okay. Let's go to this one from the Bill Willichicks. Scott, thank you, Bill, first. 12-team Superflex, start 10. It's 0.5 for running backs, full PPR for wide receivers, 1.5 for tight end. Quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, Will Levis, RBs, nothing. Wide receivers, Garrett Wilson, Aiyuk, London, Judy, QJ, and Mingo are making lists. Tight end, Kincaid and Meyer and McBride. 24 picks. We've got the 101, 104, 110, 112, 201, 206, and a couple of thirds. And he asks, plan? What do you think, Scott?
Well, got to fix the roster construction. We have way too much tight end here. We do not need Kincaid and McBride and Michael Mayer. So that's a place where you can definitely trade to the excess. Man, you got the trifecta there with Judy, Quentin Johnston, and Jonathan Mingo. All three are ones where you're like, can I get anything? Can I get anything flexible for them? Don't need them. Otherwise, we have a decent foundation. You know, you have a couple QBs. Levis and Bryce, they're kind of bonuses because you're probably drafting at least another QB, I'm guessing. And then you have a couple receivers to build around. So I think the plan is this is not a good enough team probably to just draft 3 players in the first and then the 112, 201, whatever. It's not a good enough team to just pick and then try to win.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to probably accumulate more value, but I have to be creative too. Like, how can I turn some of that excess that I may not really want into something? Is there a team out there that's desperate for, look for the team that's already traded away their 24 picks that didn't quite make it this year, but may be interested in buying a couple young pieces. Like, give them Kincaid and Judy and see if they'll give you a 25 first and second, something like that, and remove the flexibility off their team for a year out. And then maybe you hit on an even higher pick going forward. Because people will go, oh man, you can't trade McBride or Kincaid. I don't want this much tight end equity in a 1.5 premium. I know it's half PPR, but it's not worth carrying it here. And please don't be tempted to say I might take Brock Bowers too. Because that 104, people are going to go, that's who's going to go with the 104. Yeah. No, have some discipline. So you got to keep moving around for more value here, Mr. Willichek.
Bill Willichek. All right, appreciate it. So, Alyssa said, okay, thanks, guys. I took your info and traded CMC and went and bought Kyron Williams for late first and third. Well, there you go.
Yeah, Alyssa, report back when you win the ship. Yeah. And you still also have the 101. Yeah, that's very savvy. I love it. Love it.
Let's see. In how many leagues are you guys league mates?
All of the leagues that we're in together.
Was it like 4 or 5? Well,
there's 4 listener leagues.
We have 4 listener leagues, and then I'm in that HQ. What is it called? Manic and Chill. What do we call that one? Whatever
Manic
it is.
And Chill.
And then I gave my spot away to a subscriber in another one that I was in with you guys.
You're in HQ6 with me.
Yeah, not Scott, but yeah, 4 or 5, the 3 of us, and you guys are in what, over 10 together? Way more.
I think I'm in like maybe 8 leagues with Shane, something like that.
Okay.
Ish.
Yeah.
And maybe 5 with Clay, 5 or 6 with Clay.
It's
fun. I have a 21% share of Scott, and I have about a 17% share of you.
You got too many Scotts. You need to ship.
You're a little holding a little too much.
A little heavy on Scotts.
Clay has low war. You need to get rid of all of those.
Nice. Threshold. It shades a threshold wide receiver. Okay, Alec Moncton, thank you for the super sticker. 12-team Superflex start 9, gives B-Rob and a late 24 first, get Gibbs.
Yes, smash that. Next.
That's Bijan Robinson.
I'm pretty sure that's Brain Rob.
I said Brain Rob, right?
I'm sure that's Brain Rob.
It's ambiguous the way it's listed, so I was just messing around. But yeah, if it's Brian Robinson, I mean,
if it's B-Rob, let's go. Yes. If it's Bijan Robinson,
who's also injured.
Not so much.
Yeah, he's injured. I love B-Rob. Okay, let's go to Manny. What's up, Manny? Another patron member here. He says, my people, Manny from the Discord here. Just wanted to say for the new people here, check out the Dynasty Trades in 5 Discord, best money spent. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. And then he said, then community and then the analysis, or I'm sorry, the community, the analysis to help you get 24/7 is second to none. 24/7 is second to none. It's not just the 3 Magic Kings that we see every Tuesdays, but Ray, BG, Scott A, Ruben, thank you all. Go get yours. That's actually a really good point. Thank you, Manny. A really good point in the Discord is you have the Scott A's and Rubens, like ultra sharp players. Like Scott A is our Scott's, like one of your trusted advisors, right? You ask him for advice on trades and stuff. The guy plays in a ton of leagues. He's super sharp. And he's on there just as much as Shane is and the rest of us.
And they don't blindly agree with us.
Yeah, and he will tell it like it is. That's what's great, is he does not hold anything back.
I mean, that's what makes people that you trust, right? They will tell you
Right.
you have a blind spot. You're too much process here, and you're not thinking about what this could mean to the person. So a lot of our subscribers, followers, patrons, whatever you want to call them, are sometimes very level-headed, and they can steer us away from especially me. Sometimes I get down the track of like it's all vacuum process, and sometimes it's not for everybody. So love that. Love that about the community.
Yeah, so check out the Patreon. It's patreon.com/allgas. Look for our Dynasty Trades in 5 tier. Sign up. $20 per month. I don't think we've ever said that live, but it's $20 per month. We've got 3 of us. We break it up, got fees and all of that good stuff. Think of it as going towards editing dollars in my case, right? Now, awesome community there. Check it out, patreon.com/allgas. And then if you go to destinationdevy.com, we actually have a combo tier with Destination Devy. It's the Destination 5 tier. So it's everything from Ray G's side, Jay Rich's side, and everything from our side. All the content you can eat, baby. Okay.
And someone did ask real quick. They mentioned, are there going to be leagues that are, there's going to be a lot of leagues that throughout the Discord, and it's going to go to the DD Heisman people and the Trades in 5 people first. Like, do you want a spot? Here's the pool. They're all going to be run. It's not going to be like safe leagues, but they're all going to be run by Ray and myself. And we have a commissioner for all of our leagues that we've hired basically to run all of the leagues with this similar cadence. So everything's going to happen at the same time. So it's going to be very clear. Here's what it costs. Here's the pool. Here's the rules. Here's the format. Like, you either want in or you don't. But yeah, so there, if you want in leagues, if you're looking for more leagues that are not cookie cutter, that are not, some of the ones where how many people tell us, oh, man, I wish I was in a league with you guys, or I wish I was in one of these leagues you talk about on the stream. So yeah, there'll be more. So stick around.
Yeah,
we're gonna have at least one copy league where it's the Squirters versus the Hammers. So that's
for
gonna
sure.
be fun.
For sure. Okay, let's keep on rolling here, guys. So 12-team start 9 Superflex tight end premium quarterbacks are Watson, Anthony Richardson, full rebuild mode. Unloaded everybody for picks: 101, 105, 106, 109, 3 seconds, and 1/3. I'm thinking I'll need 2 years to be competitive. I want to go Marvin Harrison Jr. Thoughts? Thanks. Appreciate it, JD3.
I don't see how going Marvin Harrison would contradict your rebuild. It wouldn't hurt you in any way whatsoever. Be thankful that you have an early pick this year as opposed to last year when Bijan was the soup du jour. So no, it's 2 years. Let's not be so negative. Maybe it only takes a year. It's a start 9.
Start 9.
You know what I mean? I've talked about this all the time. One player counts as, and Scott will correct me, as at least 15% of your starting roster. So one player can have a significant impact, an outsized impact. Well, this part's true. One player can have an outsized impact on your roster.
It is true. You see it in start 9s.
Yeah.
Scott, any thoughts there on JD's?
No, I think if you round up to the next highest number divisible by 5, you get to the actual answer that Shane said. So it's really, I think 11.1%, but Shane said,
and that's how I did
close
it.
enough.
Probably. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let's see here. Let's keep moving to Amon Galvez. Thank you for the super chat. It says, love the channel. Appreciate it. 10-team, 1 QB, start 8, half PPR. And he says, training wheels league. Fair enough. Purdy, Kyler, Gibbs, Pacheco, Garrett Wilson, Olave, Devontae Smith, Devontae Adams, Hockey, and Cans. Trade Adams for the 201 and Aaron Jones in the playoffs, and don't know what to do with Adams.
Not that. I would say not that.
Aaron Jones is just a 0, right, dude?
I'm more confident. We had a couple questions about Adams in the chat earlier that we didn't get to, but Adams is Is it fair to say that he might be a year behind where DeAndre Hopkins was last offseason? He's not going to go from what he is now to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He's clearly probably declining, but I'm not just dumping him in a deal like this. Because what are you doing with Aaron Jones in the 201 in a 1 QB start 8? You're going to be stuck with Aaron Jones, and you're going to be stuck with a rookie pick where you go, "I'll just take a flyer," right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm keeping Adams here.
Yeah.
That's not even a thought.
Yeah, it's not a thought. Give us 20 here. Let's see if there's any Purdy, Kyler, Gibbs, Pacheco.
I mean, what else could you do?
It's so shallow.
What else could you do with Adams? Is there a creative way to turn him into? You're not going to go and just tier up to a younger, better receiver.
Well, no,
is there a creative way to do it, Shane?
The only one that wants him is another contender, right? So you'd have to go to contender. So you can't give him Adams and then an underperforming wide receiver. Like, hey, here's Adams and Garrett Wilson, because those are diametrically opposed actions.
Can you go to a team that has a suspect future and get their 25 first?
That's what I'd be more apt to do, because then it's liquid, and then I can go buy something if I want to with that 25 first.
And you assume Adams probably collapses by 25 potentially, so you're okay. Kind of it declines to the point where
you're kicking
trading it for the 112. It could be the 104.
You're kicking it down. Yeah. It still has that year of mystery, so it's still going to accrue value for a little bit where no one's.
And you'd prefer that.
108.
You'd prefer that than accepting the 2024 111.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's why you go to 25 with a deal like that.
Yep. Okay, Matt, thank you for the super chat here. I don't recognize this avatar. I don't know what DC would stand for there.
DC Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, I don't like them. You can call them the DC Ravens. Matt, thank you for the super chat. 12-team, 1 QB, start 8 plus kicker and defense. That's minus kicker and defense. I have the 102, 103 plus Downs, Rice, Dell, JSN, 3 late 24 firsts, and the 103 at worst in 2025. I'm an Ohio State alum and want Marvin Harrison Jr. bad. What's the most you'd give up? Thank you. Okay. So once it has to move up one spot.
He's not going to take it, but sure, I'd give the 102 Downs, Rice, Dell. And he can have a late 24 first, maybe.
Is that the 102 and the 103?
Yeah.
Either or. Okay. So he has both.
Well,
kind of feel like he might only have one or the other.
So he has one or the other.
One or the other. Yeah.
Okay.
How many late firsts would you add to that 102 to get the 101, Shane? Would you give up 2 more of them?
Start 8.
I'd start with one of them.
I'd start with one of them and be like, also, here's Rashee Rice. Did you know that he has like 600 yards receiving? He's like the 3rd leading wide receiver for rookies. Did you see his
Did you do Tank Dell?
Yeah. Tank Dell is not.
Josh Downs, same thing. Don't care about any of those 3.
Yes,
JSN and the 102. That's a tough one. He probably doesn't want to give up JSN because he loves Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, right.
but to be frank, yes. I mean, if I had to, yes.
How about you give up the 102 and 2 of those late 24 firsts, and you get the 101 and a 25 first? That would be, I know, but that would be such a slick move if you could pull that off.
Clay is a very successful salesman in his former life. Clay, you go, hey, 102, and I have all these other items here. 6 to be exact. Pick any 2, and the deal's yours, right? You can have Tank Dell in a late first. You can have Josh Downs and Rashee Rice. Like, pick 2 of these 6 assets, the 3 firsts and the 3 receivers. They're yours. Try that. People like options.
People do like options. I like it. I could picture Liam making a funny reel out of that too. Okay, let's go to Brendan Kelly here. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, 1 of 2, 10-team, start 11, poor Superflex. Okay, I'm just going to stop there, gather myself. Okay, 10-team, start 11. We'll say Superflex. Tight end, extra 0.5. So we'll assume PPR and then 1.5 for tight ends. Roster is Kyler, Russ, Watson, Achan, Keaton. The comment just went away. I didn't touch it.
Shane is
Charbonnet,
button hunting.
Yeah, I'm
Nico.
completely backed up.
All right, so the roster is Kyler, Russ, Watson, Achan, Keaton, Charbonnet, Nico, Addison, Puka, Hollywood at wide receivers. At tight end, Laporta, McBride, and Michael Mayer. 2 of 2 have 10 firsts this year, 6 firsts in 2025. He says, excuse me, 7 firsts in 2025. Who should I target?
Everyone. You have 7 firsts and 25, and how many next?
Shane, it's a 10-teamer. He owns the entire draft.
Target anyone you feel like. Like, this is what it feels like to be rich, I think. Like, you can just buy whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Money is no object whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Did I buy a Rolls Royce last week? I already had a Bentley. Don't care.
Add Shane as the co-manager, you'll be down to about 4 firsts by Saturday.
He'll get you fixed right up.
I mean, seriously, you should be going down. Okay, here's that's easy. There's Chase, there's Jefferson, there's CMC, there's Gibbs. It is Superflex, right? He said it's PPR.
Superflex.
Call Shane on Didit with your screen, and he will help you get rid of those picks.
Yeah, dude, just hook it up. We'll send some offers. But basically, the short version of this, or the full version of this, is absolutely every top 10 player you don't own is who you are going after.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to throw in an extra first if you need to. Yeah. Bye. Okay. Thanks for that super chat. I like how he corrected 7 firsts in 25. Excuse me.
Yeah.
AB adds to the Shane iPad fund. Thank you very much, AP. AB, appreciate that. All right, let's keep going here. We're out of super chats, but let me put up another one here. What do you think about the long-term value of Kincaid and Nico Collins, Scott Connor first?
So I'll keep this one short. Nico Collins, he's tied to CJ Stroud for at least one more year. So right there, you're going to probably pencil him in for at least top 30 numbers or better, even if they draft a receiver. Like, it's just the situation that he's in that's going to be able to carry him to probably wide receiver 2-3 production, if not higher. Kincaid, I mean, I think it's pretty clear Kincaid, McBride, Laporta, their tracks is going to continue to go up in terms of relative to the tight end position.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, for me, in leagues where tight ends don't matter, how can I capitalize on the window where somebody is actually willing to give me that market value for a guy like Kincaid? He's going to be tight end 2 or 3 going into next year. Mm-hmm. We already know that. But what does that mean? If it means nothing, like some of these teams we see tonight, they're like, yeah, I have 4 of the top 6 tight ends. Probably because the league goes, tight ends don't matter here. So, but you you take them all. Keep drafting them. Go draft Brock Bowers. So, there you go. My thoughts.
Yeah.
So real quick, you know how I love players that can put up cricket numbers. Nico Collins has 4 weeks this year where he's a top 5 wide receiver or better in points per game out of 11 games played. That's more than 25%. I'm not great with math, so it's somewhere between 25 and 30%, I believe. It's a high rate. So, I like Nico a lot. Kincaid, it's going to be that ebbs and flows, right? There's going to be these times when we go, oh, Laporta's the one. No, Kincaid's the one. I don't think anyone's going to pull away like Travis Kelce, where it's just that tier and then him by himself. But there'll be times you can buy him if you want to.
Let's see here. Just super quick, asking for a friend. JSN or Nico Collins? Whatever side has the plus.
If you're trying to win, I don't have a problem saying I'm taking Nico Collins.
Right. That's where I'm at. I've got something in my inbox. Okay, let's go to. We got to go to Buck here. Talk to him on the Didit machine. Buck. It was awesome meeting him, man. Traded Russ, Pollard, and Kupp for Burrow. I'm competing, but couldn't pass it up. And it'll depend on Pacheco, Dillon, Gibson, Dearness Johnson, and London. Prayers up. Traded Russ, Pollard, and Kupp for Burrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Falling knives probably. So I'm
Yeah.
fine doing it. And you just say, you know what? If I can't replace Russell Wilson or Cooper Kupp, then it wasn't meant to be.
No, it's a hell of a
Right.
deal. Hell of a deal.
Okay, let's see here. We'll hit a couple more here that we have starred. Let me just hit this real quick. So Caleb, he says, I don't believe in deadlines, but both of my dynasty leagues do. How do I convince them? If you go to the show that the Mannequin Chill show, trade deadlines is what's on the thumbnail. If you go to like the 15-minute mark, it's like 15 and change. Shane and Scott give their pitches as to why you should get rid of them. You'll know you're in the right spot when it's like the Washington D.C. like reflecting pool kind of, very official looking soapbox stance there. Okay, so check that out.
I feel like we did a full Mannequin Chill episode on that too. I could be wrong, but
that's basically the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But you guys do like your full on pitch like at the end. It's a nice like tight couple minutes. Yeah.
Check that out. Okay. Share it with your friends.
Right. Feel free to he said, and then we got this start here from Dan Quiche. Shane, notice me, big fan.
Hey Dan, I notice everybody, but you more than anyone else.
Let's this is a good question from Drew Sorensen, and then maybe we've got another one we'll hit after this. Next year's running back class is bad. Should we hold some running backs for next year? Going to be hard to find value on the market, I think. Scott, start with you on this one.
We think next year's running back class is bad, but define bad. Bad meaning there's not a Bijan, there's not a Gibbs, there's not somebody at the very top. Probably agree. But is the running back class next year bad in terms of contributors? How do you know we don't get a bunch of contributing running backs? So I think that's where the fallacy comes in. And sure, I mean, we always look at the top of the class and say, is there any studs? But I wouldn't discount any running back class. Every year brings new situations, new skill sets, new players. Don't care about how good the class is on the surface. It doesn't mean, to answer his question, I'm not overvaluing running backs that are currently in the league because next year's class is weak. It doesn't matter when you get down to the mid-tier. It's all about, the weak class is still going to have to hold off the guys this year and vice versa. So it just opens up the competition once you get to all the running backs outside the top, 8, 10, 12, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, let's hit this last one here, Shane. We'll start with you. So Panty Dropper. Yeah, Panty Dropper. This one like has to start with you, right? Long-time listener, first time commenting. Well, hello there. 12 team Superflex PPR. It's 1.5 for tight end, start 9, rebuild masterclass. Kyler, Lamar, Kyron Keaton, Puka, London, Pickens, Zay, Burks, Chig, and McBride. I currently own 6 picks, the 101, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 10. Third year, guys hesitant to trade after I baited the bottom feeders. Is it okay taking all picks this year, or should I try to sell a few of them for market price for a later first?
Yeah, I think I'd like to kick some of those to 2025. I'd like to combine a couple of those into a player. It was a start 9, right?
It was a start 9, correct? Sorry. So
yeah, I want to use several of these. I want to use for a player. Several, if I could, 2, specifically 2. If I could kick 2 back to 2025, if I could use 3 to tier up at other spots, that's probably what I would look to do. Obviously, I'm not looking to move the 101, which is Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, I'll just add this. Shane nailed it. That you're not going to need to make all of the picks, but I'm also willing to basically just use the fact that I have 4 of the top 4 and 5 of the top 6. I control the market there. So the league may force me to make a couple of those picks more than I want, but I control the market. You know what those picks are going to be worth in a start 9. It's going to be 5 of the top 25 assets in Dynasty you're holding right there. So unless you can turn it into players that are equivalent to that, I'm okay kind of holding out. Wait for your spots to strike.
For sure. Okay, this is going to be ultra quick. #hammer. #hammer for a hammer hat. We didn't do a giveaway. Quick. We're gonna end up cutting off the stream, but I still don't see any entries in there. #hammer, y'all.
I guess no one wants a hat.
Yeah, I guess nobody does want a hat.
Oh, there's one.
There we go. There's Camden.
One person. He won.
No, but yeah, 383 eyeballs still here at the end. Thank you for joining. You should definitely take us up on the offer to chat on the wake up, Shane, to chat on the Didit machine. Hit us up. It's a free call. All right. So you don't pay anything. We still do wait, what just happened here? Oh, okay. Let's switch this.
Preparing for your roll. The hammer roll.
Hit us up on the Didit machine. The first call is free. Essentially like a mini roster review. I can post it in the chat, the links to our expert pages. And I've got a Calendly link, but seriously, take us up on it. I always feel bad that we have these giveaways and stuff. People who can't be on the streams can't get access to it. Here's a way to get like another review, another set of eyes. And yeah, helps me out, honestly. Give me some loot for Liam is what we call it. Hashtag editor dollars.
Yeah, I did more than a few last week, and it was literally just, all right, share your screen with me, let's go through it. Like one league, we just went through literally every team below him.
Yeah.
And like, send this offer, send that offer. You short? Yes. Send this offer. You know what I mean? Talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's do this giveaway here. We did have 57 entries. Let me share my screen. Scott's got it all teed up for me here. Okay, let's go to the giveaway tool. All right, we're gonna hit the draw. I gotta double check that I don't have any outstanding merch orders here. Lots of people have got some stuff. Let's see. Dynasty Trades in 5. The Facebook version of Dynasty Trades in 5 wins. This is bogus. We are drawing again. That is a reroll. What's funny is like the Twitter Dynasty Trades in 5 or at Trades in 5 may be in here. We'll see. Oh, that's funny. Okay, Andy Tobin. I recognize that name. You are the winner of a hammer hat. Or a Trades in 5 hat, whatever you want. Email clay@dynastytradesin5.com and we will get it out to you. Guys, any parting words? Scott, can you hook me back up here?
I can. No, not really. I mean, we're down to crunch time, right? One more week till the fantasy playoffs for most leagues.
Yeah.
Fantasy playoffs, whether you have a trade deadline or not. You know, we work all year and grind all year to get to this point. And even if you're in 53 leagues like me, how many of them are truly in a position to say, this is my championship? I might have 10 leagues where I'm like, this is my title if I act right. A lot of the other ones are like, I need things to go my way. You know, I need to make a move. I need to do something. So, you know, don't not seize the opportunity because you're going to kick yourself in a month and you're going to wish you made that deal. Even if it means you got to punt, don't be scared to say, you know what, if it doesn't go right, guess what you can do? Join a community, add another team. You know, you can always take, it's not life or death, you know, don't get so stuck in the process. And this is coming from me. Literally the entire time I've been in this community has been process. I need to remind myself like, hey, you got a week or two to make a big deal or make a splash. So I need Shane to talk me out of it sometimes. Like, hey, go
we're
for
into it.
Go for it. Quit being so stubborn to the process.
Yes.
Yeah,
amen.
That's the truth.
Do it. And I'll just say, even if your season's over, you're not in the playoffs, keep playing. I mean, keep consuming content. Keep thinking about how to get better. I don't want to say it's more fun, but the off season is what a lot of us live for. But the off season, you know, I heard Purdy and Chase on their podcast. They were talking about it today. Like, that's when you learn. That's when you grow. And that's when you can really talk about theory and talk things through. So just because the regular point scoring season might be over for some people, that doesn't mean that the season is actually over.
Just beginning. It's fun stuff. All right. Good stuff, y'all. I'm gonna end this stream. We will see you soon. Thanks.